Welcome back and welcome to the Current Reads. Every other Wednesday, we pick a different library to check in on to see what people all over our viewing area are reading. And so far, count them, we've been to 18 different places. This week, for our 19th stop, we're headed north to the Galena Public Library. This is up in Joe Daviess County. The library was first established 131 years ago in 1894, but the current building has a fascinating story. The cornerstone was laid on Ulysses S. Grant's birthday. Of course, the former president lived in Galena at one point, and the library formally opened on the 4th of July, 1908. So joining us now with 3 books readers are loving up in Galena is librarian Larissa Disler. Larissa, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, the first book that you picked for us kind of has a little bit of everything. It's got a strong female lead. It's got a little scandalous love affair going on, talks of success. Tell me all about this one.
Harlem Rhapsody?
Absolutely.
All right. Harlem Rhapsody is a historical fiction book written by Victoria Christopher Murray, who a lot of people know as the author who co-wrote The Personal Librarian with Marie Benedict. Harlem Rhapsody is about Jessie Redmond Fawcett, an often forgotten historical figure who's had a lot of influence over the authors that we typically associate with the Harlem Renaissance period, such as Langston Hughes and Gwendolyn Brooks. She was the first African American woman to be appointed as a literary editor. She was the editor of The Crisis magazine, founded by the NAACP and W.E.B. Du Bois, who in the book is also her lover. So it has some romance, some fascinating history, and some intrigue while illuminating the life and career of an incredible woman of color that a lot of people don't know about.
This one is so cool. It's like the more that her career just sees such massive success, the more that she's realizing that success also comes at a very high cost. It's an incredible read. Your second book, though, is also really interesting. It's all about finding your way in life, even if you don't think that you fit. So tell me about Life Hacks for a Little Alien.
Sure. It's a debut novel by Alice Franklin that I've been recommending to so many people, and everyone I've recommended it to has really loved it. The entire book is written in the second person, which is really unique for any kind of fiction book. So it's all you, the whole thing. There's no she or he or I. But it's an unnamed narrator who's a young neurodivergent girl who's navigating through life, trying to figure out her relationships and growing up in kind of a just kind of having a hard time growing up in society as it is being someone who processes information so differently. And she discovers the Voynich manuscript, which is a mysterious book written in the Middle Ages and in completely indecipherable languages. It is a real manuscript in the real world. She's convinced it holds the secrets to how to navigate the world as a little alien, and she goes searching for it.
Larissa, I gotta know, why do you keep recommending this book to people? What about it stands out to you?
For me, it was just so refreshing of a read. The second person narration was really interesting to get into, and it's a narrator like I've never experienced before. So I really had a lot of fun with it, and everyone else seems to be having fun with it too.
Well, the last book you picked is a novel about being trapped in a novel. And this one is also perfect for my romance lovers. Tell me about a novel love story.
Yes, by Ashley Poston, who's one of my favorite romance authors. All of her adult romance novels have a little magical twist. And in this one, it's about a woman who's going to meet up with her friends on an annual book retreat that they go on every summer, but everyone but her has backed out. So she's all alone driving in a rainstorm and her car breaks down. She ends up in a small town. And when she wakes up the next morning, she realizes that it's the exact same small town with all of the characters in it from her favorite romance book series. So it's really a love letter to romance as a genre. Everything in it is everything and everyone is just where they belong in the town, except for the handsome but grumpy bookstore owner and his cat, who she kind of slowly falls in love with throughout the book, but he's rather prickly. So shenanigans ensue.
I know a lot of people that would love that kind of story. But before I let you go, beyond the books, I hear Galena is getting its very first poetry slam next month. What's happening here?
Yes, we actually partnered with the city of Galena and our Galena Arts Center and the high school last year to name Galena's first poet laureate. So we're doing a lot of poetry related programming with our poet laureate, Theodore Williams. And Poetry Slam we wanted to do because we really wanted to kind of establish poetry as a really dynamic, interesting, fun, performance-based art form. So we're jumping in hot with Poetry Slam, and we're hoping that we get a lot of poets to come out and perform for us. Our judges, we have Ron Jenkins is a beloved Galena High School English teacher who also hosted the drama club. And then we have two former poet laureates, Jenna Goldsmith of Rockford and Angela Trudell Vasquez of Madison, to judge our contest for us. And there will be cash prizes, so it'll be a good time.
And it's free to attend and it's free to sign up, so you can't beat
Yes, it
that.
is.
Larissa, thank you so much for joining us today and for your recommendations.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. It's always fun to talk books.
Always. And as always, we have all of today's books and the Poetry Slam event up on our website. Just click on the As Seen on TV tab at the top of WQAD.com.